welcome to On the Line. Today I am joined by UFC Welterweight Randy Brown. How we doing, Randy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you
I'm
doing?
doing good. I'm doing good. So first things first. So I had to ask you if you're from Queens before this. So my second question for that is, have you ever seen Entourage?
Entourage, man. I know Entourage, and I never seen
You never seen
Entourage. I know it,
Entourage?
but I've never seen it.
So
I never watched it.
so there's this part in the series. This has been out for 10 years, so I can say this. Spoilers if you want to watch Entourage. There's a part in the movie where he does this movie about Queens, and the most
hmm
iconic scene in it is like where he goes, "I am Queens Boulevard." Next time you win, you should just yell, "I am Queens Boulevard." That shit will go viral. I swear.
Oh man, shoot. I mean, I'm I, I'm from like Jamaica, Queens. I'm like the other side of Queens anyway.
Still
But
works.
Queens,
Still
it's
works.
all
It's
Queens.
all
Still
Queens.
works. It does.
It'll still work. Yeah. So again, real quick, another kind of question about kind of you growing up. You're the youngest
Mhm.
of older brothers, and did you have a sister?
Yeah, I have
Well, they
two sisters, and eight
probably
brothers.
still. Oh, they definitely all beat the shit out of you then. So like,
Oh, absolutely.
was there ever a point when they're like, dude, he's got kind of rocks for hands, or were they always still getting to you to the end?
Nah, they just completely destroyed me every day, no matter how much I tried. I was one of those kids who always used to try to talk back and talk a lot of shit and initiate the fights, and then my brothers would beat me up after.
As the youngest brother, I can affirm that kind of shit happens. Did you ever get in fights then, like growing up, or is it one of those things where it's just between like the family? Like, were you a street fighter?
Um, Not necessarily. I mean, I've had my fair share of fights. You know what I mean? I've gotten kicked out of schools and all that kind of stuff for fighting, but um, it wasn't like a consistent thing. You know what I mean? It's just I've gotten into fights and I've always kind of took it to that next level, and then I would be the one to get in trouble, you know?
Always had yep, short end of the stick. So all I've noticed from every time I've talked, from when I'm talking to you now, from when like all the interviews you've done in the past, is like you're always smiling. How did you get the
Mhm.
nickname Rude Boy?
Shoot, rude boy is more of a cultural thing, man. You know, it's just a Jamaican thing. It's kinda like a term of endearment, you know what I mean? Um, it's more like rude boy, like brethren, like my friend, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or, just it originated, it was like an old time thing, old time gangsters, but it's so far removed from that, and honestly, I do still have a little bit of rude boy in me because like, I'm always smiling, but I am that guy that that could turn into something different really quickly, you know what I
I know
mean?
exactly what
But,
you. Yeah.
but I just carry myself like that, man. I like to smile. I'm always just I don't know. I don't know. I'm just lighthearted, bro. It just is what it is.
I feel that. Okay, so is Brain Shaker the new nickname you're trying to go for, or is that like a brand?
Nah, that was just something we kinda had for, like, my shirts and stuff like that back in the day.
Okay.
You know, we was always throwing up the brain shaker.
Yeah,
My
honestly,
friend
they're
one
sweet. I like the shirts. They're pretty sweet.
My friend, used to always say that. He was always joking around, he's just bullshitting, hanging out and shit. He was like, "Shut up before I shake your brain," stupid shit like that when we was young. So I was just like, that's something that just came to mind, the brain shaker. Let's make some T-shirts.
Dude, that would have been a
And we use
sick
it as a
nickname.
hashtag.
That would have been a sick nickname too, Randy the Brain Shaker Brown.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that would have been that's a good nickname. Someone's gonna take that eventually. So,
Man.
yep. So, did the UFC ever offer you the Cowboy Cerrone fight so you could officially become the Cowboy Killer, or was it?
Oh, man, that would have been so good.
I
That
know.
would have been so good, bro. Well, I asked for it, and so my name was in the hat, and my name came across the table for him. But it didn't. I understand it didn't make sense. I just came off of a great performance off of a tough guy. A guy like Donald Cerrone in the position, he's an absolute legend, no disrespect, but in the position where he was at in the moment, I think he was going for a much easier fight than myself. He saw my name on the table and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go with this guy instead," and that
Yeah.
it makes sense.
It makes sense. I mean, all you do is fight killers, so it's
Yeah, man.
exactly. So let's actually talk about that last fight. I mean, did you pull out of? I know a couple months before you're supposed to fight in the Apex. Did you pull out, kind
Mhm.
of hoping they'd put you on that card, the 261?
Um, no, no, it just happened to work out like that. It just worked out perfectly like that, man, bro. I actually had COVID because I was supposed to fight the same dude. It was me
Yeah,
and
yeah, it was
Alex
you and yeah,
Oliveira,
yeah, yeah.
and I got COVID, and the fight ended up getting postponed, so it got postponed and moved to there. So it just worked out.
It worked out really well because then you had that crazy ass finish. I mean,
Yeah,
at
man.
what point?
What a great
Oh,
card.
it was a awesome card, which we'll get to in a second. But like after you do that one arm rear naked choke, at what point we're like, dude, that was pretty sick.
Um, I don't know, man. It's crazy, right? I feel like that when the fans see things like that, they all see it, and for them, it's like I don't realize how cool it is because we do it every day in the gym. You know, what I mean? It's so normalized in the
Yeah.
gym, like those kind of things. People, you know, we're just choking each other every day. You know what I mean? So when I pull it off, I didn't even think anything of it. As you just choke them out, and then I got up, like I was already in my emotions and all that shit too. So all that other stuff, but I just got up and I celebrate. Yeah, I won. And then when I got to Joe Rogan, he was like, "We've never seen that before, one armed." And I was just like, "Well,
I see
yeah,
it
it's
every
jujitsu."
day.
And I'm like, "Oh, so that's when I realized that was sick." I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I did choke him with one arm." Yeah.
Dude, how much then so, I mean, I know you've talked about in the past, like, you thought you got a performance bonus, like, I think most people would think you
Mhm.
get a performance bonus, but then as you watch that card, you're watching that 75K just slowly dwindle and
Shit.
dwindle and dwindle, like, how much did that suck even though the card was awesome, was you like, "Fuck, dude, that should be my money."
Yo, that happens to me all the time. I swear that happens to me all the time, bro. Like I remember I fought in Texas. I fought this one dude. I don't remember his name, but we fought in Texas,
Yeah.
and I hit this sick guillotine, bro. Sick guillotine, and I mean literally as I'm walking backstage, people are congratulating me. Um, Congratulations, bro. Definitely, that was a sick come because I was actually losing the fight, and it was a comeback win, and it was a submission. It was a 10 finger guillotine. They call it a ninja choke. I had his ear touching his own chest, right, and I got a sick picture of it, and everybody was congratulating me as I'm walking back. So I get backstage now, and all I hear, "Oh!" The whole crowd just explode, and then it was Chaz Skelly. Chaz Skelly ran out there and did a fucking jump flying kick
Oh my
and
god.
choked the guy out with a darce, and he was put unconscious within like 5 seconds of the fight or some shit like that. And I was like, "Oh, there goes
There goes
that.
another
There
performance
goes my
bonus, god
bonus."
damn it.
That happens
So pretty
all the
much next
fucking
time you
time.
fight, you're gonna be like, "Oh, yep, something crazy is gonna happen right after, dude. I'm fucked." But at
I
least we
never
know.
expect the bonus. I never expect the bonus anymore. I just don't even think about it. I just fight, man, and try to get the W.
I mean, the only thing you can really go for, I mean, you finish people in the first round, so you can't really get fight of the night. But that should be a goal at some point. Get a fight of the night, because I mean, the
Fight
way
of the night.
you
At
fight
some point,
exciting. So I mean, at some point, it's got to happen, right? Yeah,
for sure,
yeah.
man. I mean, at some point, I think about it. I say, hey, at one fight in my career, I want that. No fighter goes out and say, hey, I want fight of the night. They want performance of the night. Because fight of
Yeah.
the night means it was back and forth and you was getting a little beat up.
Yeah, I got that. I
So
got that.
I just want the performance. I'll take the
Yeah,
performance.
I'll take the performance any day too, because you could do it in like what was it? Didn't Jorge get it for like the 5 sec the flying knee of Askren? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
5 seconds of work, you get paid not just your show and win, but you get that extra 50K. Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So in going that last fight with Cowboy Oliveira, you had like a clean sweep of your Instagram, and I think every interview I watched doing my prep for this was like they asked you about that clean sweep. Is a part of you kind
Mhm.
of regret letting that happen because it became kind of like a little storyline in itself?
I didn't even know it became a storyline. I mean, people did ask me about it, but for me, it's not that deep. It was just, hey, I just, I wanted to delete my pictures, and they're not gone. I just archived
Yeah,
them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I there's social media people that I know and all that, and my girlfriend, she's all into that. She's like, "Hey, you could just archive your pictures. Why not? And just restart." And I'm like, "All right, fuck
Fuck
it."
it. I was gonna say,
There was no extra thought into that. I just did it.
dude, I remember like right after I graduated school, I deleted all my social media, thinking like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
never gonna be like an on camera person. I'm never really gonna need it. Little I know, now I'm here, and like I have like half of like all the followers I had on every social media site. I was like, fuck, dude, that would be really nice right now. But not a lot you can do with
It's
that.
important.
Yeah, exactly. It's sometimes really important. Um, so this is kind of a more serious kind of question, but like, which loss, like, kind of looking at it now, haunts you more, the Nico Price fight or the Bilal Muhammad fight?
Oh, Nico Price, 1000%,
Okay, that was
1000.
the right
But
answer. If you said Bilal, I was like bullshit. We both know.
Nico Price, man. But honestly, well, the three losses, well, if we add another one into that, it's the Luque as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But I kind of accepted the um the Nico loss because where I'm at with it was in that was a pivotal moment for my career, man. That's because that was in the process of my growth and my learning, and so I'm still in that process, but that was a big part of my growth right there. For that fight, I was the best I've ever felt for that fight, and I was I was in the process of my evolution of becoming the fighter that I am today. Um, and you can see it during the fight. I just look clean, my stance, like my hands are fast, my everything was just on point. And I was even when I did make the mistakes, I was recovering well and doing what I needed to do. And there were still a few mistakes, but I was doing everything right for the most part. And when that happened, I was devastated. I was devastated, and to this day, I just feel like that was a fluke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
I
what you
know
mean.
I beat
Yeah,
that dude 9 times out of 10. You know what
I
I
know
mean?
exactly what you mean.
So I'm
Yeah,
just like, it is what it is. But there was nothing to take away from it because it was just I was doing everything right, and then that happened. So I was trying my best. So it was hard for me to swallow that pill, and just accept that.
that's
But eventually, I did.
yeah, that's what makes the sport great too. Is like you just don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like it's just like
Yeah, man. It's so many variables,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So eventually, I got over it, and I moved forward, and I told myself like, hey, we'll see each other again if it's meant to be.
And so which
Um,
oh no, keep going. Sorry.
the fight that does bother me is the Luque fight, man.
Y-
And listen, I'm not here as a guy that makes excuses every time I take a loss or a setback. I will gladly say, man, that guy's just better than me that night. Bilal, he was better than me that night, man. A guy who's just better than me that night, and they just whoop my ass, right?
yeah.
It happens. This is mixed martial arts. But even in the Luque fight, it was something I never really spoke on too much. But going into that fight, man, I was compromised. I was compromised pretty bad in that fight. That was one of the first fights coming back because of COVID and all that, and it sucked. It sucked. No good training camp. I did all the training in my backyard. That's when nobody knew what the fuck was going on with COVID, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And then my weight cut got fucked up. My weight cut was absolutely shit. And I'm a big guy, I cut a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Um, bro, I ended up not rehydrating properly, cutting way too much weight, just too fast, and the whole shit was just tore up. So when I got to the fight, right, I remember warming up backstage, and I started gassing during the warm up
Oh
backstage.
fuck, that's when you
And my
know.
coach,
Yeah.
I can see it in my coach. He's like nervous, right? But he's always trying to keep this poker face to try to like make it seem like everything's gonna be good. But I see him talking to one of my other corners, and but he's trying not to show me that he's nervous, right?
Yeah.
But I know, but I'm trying to act like, all right,
We're
whatever.
cool.
I
Yeah,
got
we're
it.
chill. We're chill.
I'm trying to just be
Yeah.
cool. And in that moment, I just made up my mind and I said, okay, this is gonna be a thing of just mental. You're gonna get tired. I had to just come to terms with that and say, yo, you're gonna be gassed in the first minute of this fight. You're gonna have to keep the poker face and work through it. And man, that was it, man. I was fucking. You see me around one looking up at the clock. I was fucking exhausted,
Oh my
but I
god.
was just pushing through,
Yeah.
and I still gave a good fight considering, So I see things like that. Knowing those things, it makes me feel like, hey, gives me, confidence knowing that, hey, okay, even if I wasn't at my best, I was still able to, do what I do. Even though I didn't get the dub, but me at my best, I know that I'm top tier. You
Oh,
know,
100%. I mean, look at his rise all of a sudden. Like you got to think to yourself, man, if I'm there. Like I know I'm there. It's just about getting the wins together. And this kind of
absolutely.
a weird aside question, real quick. But like you said earlier, your weight cut is shit. But like going that week, probably had all these people asking, like, "How's the weight cut?" You're all like, you're probably sitting there like, "Oh, it's going great. Everything's on track. You're like I'm feeling pretty good." But in your mind, you're like, "Dude, I'm fucked."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You're like, shit, man. I do not feel good. My heart rate is through the roof because I always monitor my heart rate with a heart rate monitor and shit.
Yeah.
Standing up, my heart rate's at like 200, just fucking standing up.
Jesus
I'm like, oh shit.
Christ.
Well, that's not good.
That is not good at all. That's
Oh
that's
man.
awful. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about like MMA, like reporting and everything. Is like there's these certain questions like you're gonna get the same answer. No one's gonna say I have a shitty weight cut. They're always gonna be like,
Nah, no
bro,
way.
I'm
Because
feeling
the
good.
fight didn't happen yet.
Exactly. But it's afterwards, then you reveal things like that where it's like even in the pre-fight, like I'm already gassed, bro. Like this is did on your walkout, were you like purposely making sure like, all right, don't run, just move
Yeah, I
nice
didn't
and
want that. I didn't want that
slow.
spike. So you
Yeah.
think about that. You don't want that spike. So you're like, all right, just chill. but it's hard. But once you start going, it is what it
And then
is.
when you hear, oh, that fight though, there wasn't any fans though with Luke, or was there?
No,
Yeah, that was in
no.
the
It was
Apex.
just that was straight Apex. It
Yeah.
was
So
silent,
luckily you didn't
you
have the
know.
fans, going loud, and you had that little adrenaline bump where you're like, "Oh, fuck yeah, let's go." So luckily you didn't have that. And so
That probably would have made it even
it
worse.
probably would have you probably would have gassed in the first 30 seconds. So, let's go a little positive note. What are you more proud of in terms of like your fighting journey? Was it being crowned looking for a fight world champion when you beat Mickey Gall, or was it when you beat Cowboy Oliveira? Like which one of those two would you say you're like you're more proud of yourself for?
All of it, man. I don't really rank any of it, higher than the other. I set out to accomplish a goal, and which is it's not over yet. I still haven't accomplished it, but I'm every day I make steps towards it, and that was a huge step. Just being in the UFC and being considered, one of the guys that one of like a mainstay. You know what I mean?
100%,
So,
yeah.
um, I'm appreciative of all of it, man, and I love it all. Nothing tops the other yet until I win that belt or maybe break into the rankings.
Hey, could be coming soon. Could be coming soon. Does it ever get speaking of the rankings too? Does it ever get frustrating? Kind of like how you put a couple of really good performances together, then you get one fucking
Mhm.
loss, and you get another couple of wins, and you get another loss. Is that almost kind of like a mental hurdle at this point, or is this like, dude, I'm just gonna fucking break through this at this point? Like I'm tired of it.
No. You know what it is? It's that just shows learning on the job, and you hear me talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
Is learning on the job. It was huge for me. I got into the UFC at 6-0. Um, I only was a pro for 2 years before I got into the UFC. So, um, I don't know, man. It shows just I'm still putting the pieces together. And so you're always gonna have a setback when you're putting the pieces together. But where I'm at now, like I said, it was after the Nico fight. Right there is when I figured, hey, going into that fight is when I was really getting everything to align.
Hmm.
Um, so I think when you see people they do well and then they have a little bit they have a setback, they do well and they have a little setback. I think that's just them trying to find themselves. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I was going through is trying to find myself and figure out, what works for me and what doesn't work for me and putting it all the pieces together. And now I'm at a place where I can confidently say, "Hey, I have all the pieces." No, not all of them. I don't have the all answers, but I have my ducks in a row, and I know where I need to be headed and what I need to be doing in order to get these wins.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, love to hear. Yeah, exactly. I mean, also like I know obviously you don't want a loss on the record, but you learn a
Mhm.
lot from losses. You learn a lot from that stuff because you can't get better if you don't fail. Like that's such a cliche fucking thing to say, but it's true. If you don't
It is
fail,
true.
you can't like figure out what did I do wrong because eventually at some point you're gonna get fucking hit in the face with something and you're gonna be like, what's
Absolutely.
going on? All right, I got one question before I have a bunch of just, like really stupid, weird, simple questions. But do you know who Chet Hanks is?
Chet
Chet
Hanks.
Hanks.
Chet Hanks. Oh, I do
Tom
know who
Hanks'
Chet
little brother, Tom
Tom
Hanks'
Hanks'
son.
son, yeah.
Have you ever heard
He's
his
funny.
Jamaican accent?
I have.
Can you rate
He
it?
went viral a few
Can you
times.
rate
That dude
it?
is funny as hell. If I can read
Can
it
you
or
rate
rate
it?
it,
Can you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? How good is his Jamaican accent?
fucking -5. It's horrible, but it's hilarious and I
It's
love it.
so funny. He's such a clown. He really fucked up White Boy Summer too, I will say. The shirts, awful. He had such a momentum and he just
He just shadowed it.
yeah, he just completely shit all over himself.
Man, people love him though, man. I like that dude. He's hilarious, man. But he's been just saying a lot of weird shit these days, right?
Yeah, I remember like back in quarantine, a bunch of like he was like the guy my friends would always like talk about just because we think he's just this enigma of a human being. And then White
Yeah.
Boy Summer blasts off, then everyone knows who Chet Hanks is, and we're like, oh, we're ahead of everyone, let's go. And then he just pisses all over himself and blows this like massive opportunity. So
Oh
it
man.
sucks, but no, he's so funny. Anyway, so I got some dumb questions for
You really upset about that, bro.
dude.
No what? White Boy Summer is still good,
It's
bro. Y'all still out
no,
here,
like
my
the
man.
shirts are awful. The everything about it, like as someone in media and someone who like kind of sees these things, when you see someone butcher an opportunity, it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
you could be making so much more money. It's
Nah.
so anyway, yeah, it's frustrating. That's why it's frustrating. It's just like you see like the obvious answer and it just doesn't happen. But anyway,
But bro, that's why like personalities and celebrities are who they are because
yeah,
they don't really think about anything like repercussion or planning for anything,
nope.
or thinking of how to brand something or market something. They just being themselves, man, and that's what makes them great.
It was super Chet though to completely
Yeah.
blow it. Alright.
That's why they need people like you, bro.
Yeah,
Hire people
yes,
like you and shit.
exactly. They need people like me, but it is what it is. Alright, this is a question I feel like a lot of UFC fighters get asked, is like they always ask, like, "Dude, so, like, you're gonna hit up Dana White for a fight next week?" But, like, how often do people ask you, "Do you talk to Dana White?" Because I know it's not as much
All
as
the
they all
fucking
think. Yeah,
time,
for
bro.
real?
All the time. Bro, I mean, I've met Dana more than I think a lot of other UFC fighters have. I've spoken to him a lot more. Some guys have never even spoken to him ever. But still, I don't have Dana White on speed dial. I'm gonna just be like, yo, I'm trying to fight this dude next week. Set it up. Nah, it doesn't work that way.
No, 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 no. I love that. That's one of my favorite. What's another? I didn't have this. What's another kind of like UFC kind of not like it's not stereotype or like myth. Like what's something people assume about a bunch of UFC fighters that just like not true. Like for instance, like knowing Dana White or maybe like I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But is there another kind of like thing like that where they all assume something that's just not true?
So many, so many. One is that people just think that we're just aggressive all the time and we just want to fight and we're just like roided up and tatted up and we're just like, let's go at all moments. Nah, man, some of us are just we're regular people who just happen to fight in a cage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, One other thing is that people also assume that, bro, how come you're not fighting? Like you just fought one, you had a 1 round fight. Your fight was like 4 minutes. You took zero damage. Like, get back in there. You're so inconsistent. Why don't you want to be active? And I'm like, that is not up to me, bro. I would love to fight. I would love to fight tomorrow, right? That is not up to me. So, you know,
There's nothing you can do about that. I feel like that's one of those things where people just assume like you can get any fight you want. Like theoretically, tell me if I'm wrong, you could get a fight next week, but in terms of where you're at in your career and like matchups, it just won't make sense.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, I feel like
absolutely.
that's how it
You know,
is. Yeah.
there are opportunities and there are fights out there, but it's like, you know, does it make sense for me to take a fight against a guy that's 1-1 right now in the UFC or say something like that, and he only has 2 fights, and I'm on my way trying to make a name and trying to build this. No, I don't think it makes that much sense. Maybe a guy in the rankings or a guy closer to the rankings or someone with a little bit of a name.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
that'll help me a little
Yeah,
more.
100%. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you only again, we said it earlier. You only fight the who's who of the welterweight division. Uh,
Pretty much.
yeah, you just fight killers. Do you have any weird pre-fight rituals?
uh nah, man. I'm one of those dudes who's just
God damn it.
I'm calm, cool, collected, and I just go in there and just do what I
I've
do.
asked this to like 4 different guys, and they all say the same thing. Like, I just want one guy to be like, "Yeah, I do this and this," but it haven't happened yet. What's your
Hit up
what?
hit up Gregor Gillespie. He's one of those guys
He's actually
he's
we're
super
working on
like,
it
yeah,
right now. Yeah, that's someone we're working on right now. I'm excited for that one.
yeah.
Um,
Hit him up. He's the guy that got all the rituals and the weird shit going
oh,
on.
I can't wait then. I can't wait. All right. What's your like let's your like pre-fight meal, like whether it be the night before or like the day of. Like what do you eat?
Pre-fight
Yeah.
meal. Hmm. It's always the same shit. It's like bland, like regular chicken and lettuce and leafy greens and all that kind of shit.
Just
Just
like healthy food, keep your
um
body just
yeah, just
yeah.
I still keep it healthy. I don't go too crazy because I need fuel. I consider it as fuel for the actual fight. But after the fight, after the fight is a different story. Now we eat. Now we getting into the nitty gritty where we can really have
Yeah.
some grease.
Yeah, you can really enjoy yourself. Which actually kind of brings another the second next question I got is like not the night after, but the night before. Have you ever considered like taking a drink to like help you sleep? Have you ever done anything like the Paulo Costa thing?
Ta, like Paula Costa?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay. I've
Never.
always kind of felt like there's so many other alternatives than drinking to get
Yeah,
yourself to
there
go
is.
to
Yeah, I
sleep.
mean, there's melatonin. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff you can do.
Yeah, even though you got some weird ass dreams when you take the tonin, it does get the job done.
For
What about the
sure.
night? Okay, then so that's done. What about the after a fight? What's the first drink you get to? What's the go to?
The first drink that I go to after the
Well,
fight,
like
uh,
alcohol wise, when you celebrate,
oh, alcohol. Oh
yeah,
shit, bro.
because you're trying
Yo,
to rehydrate after a fight, but like
you know, damn, bro. I don't
you
drink.
don't drink,
Yeah, I don't drink,
dude.
bro.
Fuck yeah.
No, I know. Nah, fuck yeah. I know you're like, ah,
No, 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 no.
fuck.
I'm pro for everyone to do what they like to do. Like some
Yeah,
people
I don't
drink, some
drink.
people don't drink, some people smoke, some people don't smoke, some people love to do a shitload of drugs. I mean, that's not a good idea, but like you can do all your shitload of drugs.
Oh man, nah. I've never. I mean, I've drank before, but I haven't drank in years, bro. Like, it's not really my thing.
I feel
If-
as someone who does, I will say, if I were a fighter and I know I'm preparing for a fight or like I'm always in this game, the way I feel after I drink, I feel like shit. I would never want to like ever
yeah,
have to have that happen in my body because like your body is literally like your like not your desk, but it's like that's your workstation. Your body is your
yeah, for
station of
sure.
work. I would
Got to be
gotta treat
optimal.
that thing like a temple.
I mean, but I say that as we're having this conversation. I mean, I smoke weed. So
That's a little bit different though. That's a little bit different.
I smoke weed, so I was like, yo, what are you talking about,
No,
bro?
no, no, no. There's it's a little bit. There's a little bit difference between smoking and drinking. Like when you at least like it's like when you drink, like you don't get hungover smoking weed. You feel just a little bit
No,
groggy. That's really it.
it's
It's
true.
not
It's
that
true.
bad. Like and also
And even
it's
though,
like proven as like they're trying to use it now like in the NFL for instance as like a substitute for painkillers.
for sure,
So
for
yeah, like
sure.
that I think that's a little bit
Yeah, and
different.
even so, I don't even smoke often. Like
Yeah,
you ever had a weed drink
never,
with like the tincture,
never.
and then it's like you put it. It's called a tincture. You put it in like it's a one little drop, and you put it in any drink. You can put it in any kind of
I've heard
drink.
of
You put in
this though.
water,
Yeah, I've heard of
and then
this.
when you drink it, you legit get high.
How does Cottonmouth work then with
You don't get that.
Really?
You don't get it when you drink. Yeah, it's weird. It's
That's
weird.
so weird. That almost that's trippy. That's really trippy.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect your lungs or anything. So it's like,
See,
all right, there we
that's
go.
the other thing too. Like that's why like edibles are so like what is it like that the THC gummies or whatever too. Like that
Yeah,
anything that isn't smoking, I feel like is honestly not that bad for you.
for sure, for sure.
So we're on the same boat on that. Let's go with this. Who's the guy that's hit you with the most? Who's the guy? No, no. Who's the guy you've hit with the most bombs that literally wouldn't go down, or eventually you got him down? But like you're like, dude, how is this guy taking this much heat?
Brian Barberina, easily.
Really?
That dude is a fucking tank. I don't know what his head is made of, but he just comes forward and he just does not go down. That dude is a savage.
And so let's reverse it then. Who's hit you the hardest?
Who's hit me the
Like it
hardest?
doesn't have to be a knockout punch. 'Cause I know sometimes it's
Yeah.
like,
Who's hit me the hardest?
yeah,
Luque.
Luca.
Yeah.
And that
Luque's hit me the hardest.
definitely fits the narrative. All right. So I know you also have a podcast, The Bro and the Pro. Did the schmo hit you guys
Yeah.
with like a C&D or something, or what's going on with that?
No, man. The pro and the bro is just it's just me and the homie, man. We just talk shit about, MMA and about any and everything and on Twitch. And mostly MMA, and we just bullshit, bro.
Okay.
No expectations or anything like that. We just go there. We got a show every Friday and Sunday, so it's pre-fight show and post-fight show of whatever UFC is going on, and we just kick it with chat for like an hour and a half.
There's a plug right there. There we go. Everyone go check it out. Check it out.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Not
sir.
sure when this is coming out, but it's coming out on a Friday. So, and this will be posted before. So check it out in probably like 5 hours when it's up. What's the next question I got for you? All right. When you see a guy like Weidman have his leg snapped, do you ever think do you like double check on yourself? Like, I'm not throwing a kick. Like, is there a party who's like, I'm never throwing a kick ever
Everybody does.
again?
Everybody does. Everybody thinks about it. You're like, ooh. You're like, fuck, man. And you just start saying, you know what? You got to set up those kicks. No empty kicks.
Nope.
You know. I've thought about it. I think about it all the time. I'm like, shit, man. I already got these skinny ass legs. People see me as a welterweight. They're like, yo, you're fucking huge, and it's like, yeah, but it's my legs. I carry a lot of the weight in my back,
The John
right?
Jones
So
syndrome.
yeah, you know what I mean. I
Yeah.
got these little tiny legs, so I always think about it. I'm like, shit, man. You gotta punch before you kick, Randy. You gotta punch before you kick. Don't want to get it
Cannot
checked
don't want that shit going snapping. That's the wrong reason to go viral. Not saying I'm Queens
for sure.
Boulevard. You don't want that leg going.
For
How long
sure.
did it take you to learn how to build PCs?
Ah, man, it didn't take me very long.
Really?
I learned it over the quarantine. So once the whole world shut down, everyone started learning new hobbies and shit like that because we had nothing to do. And for me, it was PCs, man. I couldn't go to the park and play ball with my friends, so I was just gaming and shit. So I'm like, everyone's been telling me, bro, you should get a PC. PC gaming is so much better. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. And I decided I'm gonna build one and took my time. Made it a little project, and then I got addicted to it. And I'm like 4 PC builds in now.
Jesus. What's your go-to games then? What's the games you want to
My
play?
go-to games, well, obviously Call of Duty. Everybody plays
Dude,
that,
I'm scared
but
of
I'm
PC
more of a
players on Call of Duty. There's so
yo.
many
They're fucking
mods,
scammers,
bro.
bro.
Fuck them.
All the hackers, right?
Fuck that, dude. Fuck
Bro,
that.
I tell you what though, me, I'm more like I play like storyline games.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I
yeah.
streamed last night,
I know.
and
I
I
popped
like
in real
that.
quick. I wanted to see what was up.
Yeah, yeah, man. I play like these little weird games sometimes. That's mostly what I play. And I'll play Call of Duty, but if there's none of those kind of games out, but I play like The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
My thing is you play video games that like it whatever decision you make, you have to make decisions, and whatever decisions that you make can change the outcome of the game, can change
yeah.
like your relationship with a specific person and different characters. So I like that kind of shit, man. That's fun for me. So sometimes I have my girl play with me and we just stream it,
Okay,
you know.
okay. No, so I remember that those I used to love doing that shit. Then lately, I don't know. I got into Call of Duty a lot, and then I just play a lot of like I don't know. I've been really into MLB The Show lately, which I don't really like baseball, but it's just a fun. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
weird. Who's your favorite Twitch streamer that isn't you?
My favorite Twitch streamer that isn't me. Shoot. Hmm. Damn, I watch a lot of people, and it's funny, like I don't watch the guys play video games. Like I like Tim the Tap Man,
Yeah.
right?
He's
That's one of my
yeah,
favorites. And
yeah.
I don't know what it is. He's not even that great at the game.
He's just
It's
chill,
just
dude. He's just like one of
he's
those.
just chill. It's
Yeah.
his I think it's his voice, bro. He has like this talking voice. And I just
It's like a talking
listen
dad
to where
voice.
I just listen to him talk. And I'm just like, all
Yeah.
right.
It's like a talking dad voice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. It's
exactly.
weird.
How many Airbnbs do you have? I know you had one originally. Have you bumped up a little bit more?
Yes, yes. Oh wow, you did your homework. Oh
Bro,
shit.
I'm
All
not
right.
a candy ass fucking
Okay, one time, one time. That's one time for you. One time. Oh man. Right now we're up to 4 Airbnbs.
Four.
We're up to four
All in Jamaica?
Airbnbs in Jamaica. Yep, all in
Oh, can I
Jamaica.
get a discount?
Um oh,
Fuck
absolutely.
yeah. All right.
Absolutely. But yeah, man. So the goal is to keep building them up. I also want to build a gym there. And the gym that I want to put up is just so I have a home base when I'm there,
Yeah.
and I can fly out my training partners and train there, full time. And also just give kids where I grew up, give them an opportunity to be able to train for free. You know what I mean? Just come train. Come train for free and learn mixed martial arts and see that there's other outlets other than, sprinting and soccer, you know?
Yeah, know what you mean. I've noticed a lot with the money now coming into like the UFC and like MMA. I've noticed a lot of guys have started to do that kind of stuff. It's like going back home and building, which is awesome. Like you got to give a new outlets other than the usuals. Um, so with that
For
said,
sure,
man,
for sure.
we've already plugged the podcast. We've plugged the Twitch. Want to plug them again?
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Um, Twitch, Touch and Go 170. Pull me, come check us out on Twitch. The podcast is The Pro and the Bro. We do it live on Twitch, but you could also listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, so that's it. That's what I got for him. For me, for Randy, we out. Peace.
My man, I appreciate you.